everyone, I am Lisa and this is Lisa TV, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today I just decided to film my makeup while I was doing it. This may end up being a voiceover, I don't really know. I'm about to film a few videos, so I just wanted my makeup to be pretty. If you like the look that I'm going to be doing today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's get into the video. Starting off, I've already prepped my brows off camera, so now I'm just going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, the collaboration with Jackie Aina, and I'm taking the shade Ginger, and I'm just going to start applying that to my lids. And here you see me just kind of blending that out. I didn't want to choose a shade that was too bold, but I did want something that was going to stand out. My lids are going to be very bright, so I just kind of wanted a very neutral transition shade to get started with, so that's why I chose this one. So next I'm going in with the BH Cosmetics palette. It's like some sort of festival palette from them, and I am taking the shade Haze and putting that on my lids. I was going to go for something really bright, but you'll see that switched very quickly in the video, but I'm just taking that and applying it all over my lids. So in the process of me applying it, I realized that it was not showing up as much as I wanted it to. So I did not have a very bright concealer, and I also did not have like a white eyelid primer or anything. So I took this NYX pencil, which was the biggest mistake you are going to see because it did not do what I needed it to do, but it was just like way too chalky. That's the reason why it did not work. Had I had a concealer, it probably would have been a lot better. So I am just blending that pencil out on my eye, and it was so thick and cakey that honestly it was just hard to blend, but that's not what it's for. So yeah, so now I'm just going back in with that Haze shade and I'm putting it all over my lids, and it's starting to pick up a little bit more, but as you can see, it looks very like textured, and I didn't want that above my eye, so I just started to like pat it in instead of rub it in. It worked for one eye, but it did not work for the other. So I was quickly over this like lime green look just because I wanted it to pop a little bit more than it was. So yeah, I just continued to layer it on in hopes that I was going to get the result that I wanted, but I did not. So in the next clip, you are going to see me applying the shade, I want to say Electric. And I'm just going to start putting that on my lids. So I am just patting that shimmer shadow in, and I really did like the color of this. I didn't necessarily like how it paired with the lime green on camera and when I started to put them together, but looking in the palette, I thought it would be really pretty. So that's why I chose this color, and I really wanted to use some of the brighter colors in the palette because it is springtime. So I'm just taking that and I'm layering it on. I find that with this BH Cosmetics palette that I just have to kind of continuously layer the eyeshadow in order to get the color that I want or to show up the way I want it to. They are extremely pigmented, but I'm sure if you had like a better eyelid primer than I started off with, then you would not need to do this. But I'm just doing that on both sides, of course, and just patting it in until I get the color that I want. I'm taking the same BH Cosmetics palette and I'm taking the color Chic and I'm just blending that above my eye. I find that when I don't know if it's because I have so much eyelid space, but I find that when I put colors like on my lid and not so much at the top, I feel like my eyes just look kind of naked. So I like to go in and keep that warm up top. So that's why I chose that shade, because I really just wanted the lids to pop more than the top of my eye, if that makes sense. So I'm just blending that out, and I'm going to do that on both sides of my eyes. And at this point is when I was realizing that I really did not care too much for the eyeshadow combination that I had going on, but I was really trying to work with it because I wanted to use the colors, but that died quickly. So I just decided to take that shimmer shadow and put it all over my lid because I just felt like I was going to like that a lot better in my videos. And I went in with the credit shade from Jackie Aina, and I am just kind of smoking out my eye. because I wanted it to look a little bit more sultry. I quickly went from like a spring look to a sultry look because I just was not feeling that lime green. So I'm just blending that out and kind of giving my eyes some dimension so it doesn't look so flat. And I'm taking that shade up top as well and just blending it all across my lid. And then, of course, I'm going to do that on the other side as well. So when I initially started this look, I knew I wanted to do something with white eyeliner, but this NYX like pencil was not a good white eyeliner at all. It gave me such trouble. I would definitely recommend getting like a white liquid eyeliner. I know they have one of those and a lot of other brands as well, but this one was just way too chalky. So it just did not, the pigment was not good, and it was just really hard to work with that. So I would not recommend this one, but like I said, there are tons of white eyeliners out there. You can find a better one. Now I am just taking the Fenty primer and I am putting that all over my face, and I will have everything that I'm using linked down in the description box. I like this primer just because I kind of have combination skin. Within my T-zone, I feel like it's very oily and the rest of my face is kind of dry. I feel like this gives me a good even balance, so I like to use this one. Now I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and a Sephora brush, and I'm just patting my foundation into my face. I like to use the Sephora brush because the bristles on it are really close together, and I find that it gives me a lot of coverage because they are so close together, and it helps me conceal my freckles without having to go in and color correct, because that just takes a lot of time to do, and I like to be very simple with my makeup routine. And I do like the fact that this foundation is buildable. So I just kind of put it on a first layer and I let it dry down just a little bit while I'm working on the rest of my face, and then I'll go on with the second layer just to get that coverage that I want. This color is my summertime shade, so I feel like it's just a little bit brighter, but the concealer always helps me tone it down just a little bit. And I'm just blending that all out over my face. Now I am taking the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I can't think of the shade, but like I said, I'll have everything down in the description box. And I am just putting it in the areas that I like to highlight and blending that out. I went kind of OD with the concealer, so I had to blend it out a lot because I put way too much on. I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess I was going for some sort of like dramatic look. I don't know what was going on. Way too much. So I'm just blending that out all over as much as possible. I decided to grab my beauty blender and just kind of press that into my face so that it blends with my foundation a little bit more. I wanted my face to be highlighted, but I didn't want to go too crazy. So that is the reason for me taking the blender and really getting it into my skin. I'm now going in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and the shade I believe is like Toffee. And I like to contour very lightly. I don't like to go too crazy. So that's why it is not that deep, the color. I like it to kind of be like a natural face and my eyes to stand out more. So I'm just putting that concealer in all of the areas that I want to contour with, and then going down the sides of my nose as well. I don't really carve out my nose to be very thin. I like the shape and the size of my nose, so I just do it to kind of give it a little bit of definition. And now I'm just taking a brush and blending that out. And I actually like powder to powder contour a little bit more than I like to use a cream contour, but I did like how this one worked. And I'm just taking my normal Airspun powder and I'm carving out my jawline a little bit more. I don't do this part all the time, but I feel like because my eyes were so bold, I just wanted my face to stand out a little bit more with this look. So I'm carving out my face, and I love this powder. It can make you look cakey, so you have to be careful with it. And as you can see, it's extremely messy, so you have to be really careful with it. But it's mainly just the brush that I was using to apply it that just held so much product in it. But I find that this brush works a little bit better for me. And I'm just pressing that into my skin all over. Now I'm going in with my blush. I actually forgot to put the blush on the screen, but it is a Milani blush. And I believe it is the color Rose. I like it. It's very soft. I wanted my face to be a little bit more warm, so that's why I was kind of layering it on in hopes of kind of getting a more warm face. Now I'm going in with this nude lipstick from NYX, and I don't know the name of it, but like I keep saying, everything will be down in the description box. I am layering it with another lip gloss from NYX because I did not like how tan that nude was. I wanted to put like a little bit more pigment into my lips. I'm now going in with the Wet n Wild liner, and I believe this is just in the shade Brown. And I'm carving out my lips just to darken them up a little bit because they were so nude. And I feel like with nude lipstick, that like dark liners always look so good with them. And I'm actually going to do a video over my favorite nude lip combinations, so be on the lookout for that. But I'm just taking my finger and I'm blending it out. I find that that works best for me, just to kind of get everything to look seamless. This is the Broadway lip gloss. I'm just putting it on. I like my lips to be glossy, using my fingers to press it in. And yeah, you can find these pretty much anywhere. I believe they come from like hair stores and stuff, but yeah. Now that is the contour palette from Black Radiance, and I'm using the darkest contour shade just to deepen my contour on the sides of my face. Now I'm going in with my Wet n Wild setting spray, and I am going to drench my face with that. And then I'm going to let it dry down a little bit before I start to apply my highlight. And y'all, I cannot be the only one who uses their makeup palettes to dry their face, so don't judge me. So I'm taking that shade right there, the highlight shade, and I'm going to go down the center of my nose. This is normally the only place I highlight. I don't really do my cheekbones or anything like that. So I'm just packing it on until I get the desired look that I want. And I took that same shade and I put it in the corner of my eyes. And right here, I took a different Milani blush and I added a little bit more to my cheeks because I really wanted to warm up my face. I don't know what it was about these eyes, but I felt like my face just needed to be warm. And that blush is so pigmented. So I took my brush just to blend it in because I didn't want to go too crazy. So this is the final result. I did go in off camera and just put mascara on the lashes just to make them pop a little bit more. The white liner that I use for the eyeshadow, I would not recommend. I'm sure there are other videos out there on white eyeliner, so you can find a better quality one. But overall, I do like the look. If you like it, please be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in my next video.